Live. And I'm gonna start sharing on within the group and stuff. This is awesome stuff, man. What a day, what a day. Real life.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
I don't know what to say.
What a vindication for 16. Oh my God, you guys.
This is some awesome stuff, man.
I think 46 is my new favorite number.
Oh, we gotta play that number. Lotto. Let me see if it's on my lotto ticket. I got a lotto ticket for my birthday.
With any luck, 47 will be even better.
I know. She's gonna beat.
We have, ladies and gentlemen, our first woman holding an official office in the White House as Vice President of the United States of America. And she's an African-American woman. Woo!
In my lifetime, a Black president and now a Black female vice president in our lifetime.
In our lifetime. Let's say that. In our lifetime.
My mother's 92. She can see this.
Mine too. My mom and my dad got to see this. Wow.
Here is clear. The pattern here is clear. And every time
we got to do something. We got to go to somewhere and celebrate like right now. As soon as we get off this live.
When we get off this live, we going that, hey.
Let's just meet up somewhere and go to lunch and turn that joint out. Let's go to Texas Roadhouse.
People worked really, really hard for this. Really hard.
We worked really hard.
Stacey,
I want to give a shout out to my home state of Pennsylvania. Coming in with the steel chair at the end.
You know what? Shout out to all of you who are suburban women. Those suburban housewife groups, y'all rock. We rock. And I'm going to tell you what. Shout out to Red Wine and Blue.
That sealed his coffin when he came on and talked about the suburban white women.
His mistake was the reason why this group started. His mistake was saying what he said about suburban women and the communities that we lived in. His mistake was realizing there were more than white women living in suburbia. His mistake was thinking that we weren't going to unify and mobilize. That was his mistake.
Because he's a stinking misogynist and he doesn't believe women are powerful. Look at that shirt.
Kim can't get on. She said she can't even speak right now. Kim needs to get her butt on this call here.
Kim's got to get on. Tamara's got to get on. Oh my God.
Kim can't get on. She's crying.
Tamara's
I'm crying underneath my sunglasses
too. On, girlfriend. Let's do this.
I am, but this is so much work.
Tamara's probably teaching right now, but oh my God.
Can we just take a moment though and think about how we got here? All the hard work Stacey Abrams did.
Yes. Let's
his legacy.
Let me tell you something. She wants to be governor. We are going to fly down to wherever she is, Georgia, I don't care, and we're going to stump for her.
Yep.
She could be anything she wants. She could be secretary of whatever she freaking wants.
She doesn't want that. She wants to be governor of Georgia. That's what we're going to do for her. That's what we're going to do for her.
That's what we're going to do. This group is going to be 100% behind Stacey Abrams. And the one thing that I like about being and doing what we're doing, we're not connected to any one state and we're not connected to any one candidate. We're going to support who we believe has our voice and speaks our message. If you don't, there won't be any support. But Stacey Abrams, not only does she speak our language, she will get our support.
Did New York go for Biden? Did New York go for Biden?
Of course.
Of course New York went for Biden.
New York is always blue.
And
the
Michigan.
Yeah.
I just bought 2 shirts. One New
I know
York.
you ain't talk about New York like that.
I'm wearing both shirts today, one on top of the other.
I think what we need to do is get.
I'm wearing my Michigan shirt. And I'm gonna go up to Flint and beat Michael, what's his name? Michael Moore's ass, because he never believed Biden was gonna win. Screw you, Michael Moore. You don't know jack.
Yeah, I think we need to get the message out there, though. Everybody needs to understand the only wall we are building now is the blue wall. That's it. Blue wall's coming back. We are securing this lead. We're going to rebuild a bigger majority in the House, and we're going to take the Senate.
The Senate is 48 to 48 right now. Who has to win? Who has to win?
We have 2 runoff races.
Where are they right now? Hold on.
We need to get Georgia.
Yeah, we need Georgia.
We need
Georgia, you sweet peach. My best friend lives in Georgia. Please. Everybody needs to help out with the runoff race in Georgia.
We need Georgia. We need Ossoff to win in Georgia, right? Isn't that Ossoff?
Ossoff's not Georgia.
Who's Georgia?
I'd have to look. Hang on.
Oh my God, my head hurts. I got a headache. I gotta get some coffee. Hold on.
I haven't eaten either.
Let me make some coffee. Oh my God. I was upstairs. I had to come downstairs and turn the other TV on and make sure it was right.
I was in the car when I saw your message come through. I was in the car, and I can't begin to tell you what this all means. I can't begin. All of the racial tension that we've had while this president was in office, the way that he only uses Black Americans because he needs to get his vote in. He didn't care when Breonna Taylor was killed. He never even offered any sympathy for that. When the other gentleman was killed, George Floyd, he never said anything to those families ever. I remember when things happened to families when President Obama was in office, and you can think and feel whatever you want to think and feel. That man cried at the podium. Okay. I can't hear you, Vanessa. You're muted.
He always responded.
Always.
When those kids in Newtown were killed, he cried.
Right.
That bastard didn't even acknowledge Breonna. What a vindication for Breonna's family right now.
Didn't even say a word. Went straight to the police officers and what they were feeling. And I understand the police officers, and I don't have anything to say about that, because I do believe we need our law enforcement officers. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is you cannot sit there and support people who put their knee on somebody's neck and kill them. You can't support somebody who is arresting somebody coming out of a grocery store and kill him when he says he can't breathe. This I can't breathe thing is a serious situation. And if we can't have somebody in office that understands us, you don't get my vote. Yeah, I said it.
We went out
I was wrong. Vanessa, you were right. It is Ossoff in Georgia. Loeffler's in the other one.
And Ossoff is the one that I want. I want him in office, and I'm in Virginia.
What's going on with Ossoff? I mean, what does he need? What does he need?
He's a bad boy, I can tell you that. He needs to get into
I don't even know who he is. Hadn't heard of him since.
I've watched him, and I've watched him in his debate. And the boy is so bad, he called the dude out. He called Perdue out on the stage. Perdue never said a word, and he reneged on the last debate. He didn't want to debate him again because he ripped him to shreds. He wiped the floor up with him.
The Perdue family sucks, especially that bastard in the White House that came to my kid's school to change Michelle Obama's, to change the nutrition triangle, because he said kids need more sugar in their diet so that they'll eat the lunches. Screw the whole Purdue family. Bastards. Y'all just don't know.
All I want to say is this.
I've been in politics for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. 30 years. Registering people to vote.
All I want to say is this. We have got to. It doesn't make a difference who's in office. We need to support those people who are in office. Now, there are a lot of you Republicans out there. A lot of y'all are on my page saying your slide comments all week. Yes, I'm talking to you. You need to get behind, just like we put up with Trump's mess for 4 years. You need to get on the bandwagon and try to help make this country a better place. Your candidate was the candidate that screwed it up. Your candidate was the candidate that has these militias and stuff running around in the street with guns thinking they're going to try and scare and threaten people. That's your candidate. Your candidate was the one that alienated children in cages and alienated Black people, making it feel like Black lives don't matter. Apparently, Black lives do matter because it was our lives that voted. Hello.
Yeah, and it's getting ready to be a Black life in the White House, the vice president.
We all need to get together.
And you voted for Trump, shame on you. Start redeeming yourselves today and start praying.
Everybody. And let me hit you evangelicals while we're at it.
Yeah, get them.
Let me hit y'all while I'm at it. Because I am a minister and an elder also. Okay? So that's what I've done in my past. So I can speak to this. And what I have to say to you is you should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. You do not use God in a way, particularly that church in Leesburg. Let me hit you real quick. You have no business. No business. You can talk politics over the pulpit if you want to. But you have absolutely no business, none, saying that you're so pro-life against abortion, but you can't give two rats about the Black lives and brown lives that walk around in the street day to day. There's no way you can be pro-life and not human life. There's no way for that. And you had the audacity to talk about Muslims in your videos? What kind of pastor are you? And let's hit Paula White real quick. The one who was doing a prayer vigil shut-in and speaking in tongues on a pulpit for Trump? Because you're his spiritual advisor and he gave you some financial advice? You sold your soul for that. That's what you did. And I can speak to that.
I'm calling everybody out. I'm calling all of you out. Couldn't do it before today, but I'm calling every last one of you out. My friends, so-called friends and neighbors grinning in my face, talking about they love me, and you go and you vote for that man. You don't
love me and stab me in my back at the same time.
You don't love me and love my Black sons who could get killed walking out on this street right now. You don't love us. You love yourself and you love your pocketbooks. That's what you love. I'm calling all of you.
And before y'all call a civil unrest in this country, you might want to get your life insurance policies in place. So please feel free to DM me and I will happily get that in place for you. I also do, not only do I do whole life, but I do perm and temp insurance. So before you buy all those guns and you want to start your civil unrest in the street, you better make sure that you're covered so that you can protect your family. I'm done with that public service announcement.
Oh, and let me to all the people that are about to lose your job in the White House, okay? I own a recruiting and staffing firm. And when you leave with your resumes, yeah, look up VR Maddox Consulting, LLC, and give me a call, all right? And make sure you have your clearance in place. How's that?
It is for me, everything that I have been holding in and trying to be as nice as I could.
Coming out.
Not responding to a lot of the crap I've seen on social media. I've asked y'all to get off of my page if you didn't support and believe, and y'all still hanging out on my page. I don't know why. Because you can't love and support me if you loved and support him. And what's really disappointing to me about this election was that over 60 million of y'all voted for him.
55% of white women. Jamie, I need you to speak up and speak up.
I need you to
Well,
speak
that's what that exit poll showed, but we know the exit polls are wrong because the exit polls did not take into account the 101.2 million mail-in votes, of which we think at least 3/4 were for Democrats. So we don't know what that is. But to all the white women who are watching this, I hope you're listening. I hope you're hearing the pain of our sisters of color. I hope you are listening to this. I hope you understand that if you voted for Trump, it was an act of violence against people of color, against our BIPOC community, against the LGBTQ community. You can't say that you love these people and vote for violence against them. And you can't say that, these are the people that I love. I love, I'm not racist. I have a half Black child, and vote for Donald Trump, who is going to allow little African-American boys to be murdered in the street. Children, these are children. We talk a lot about George Floyd, and that is absolutely a tragedy, but it's not just grown men who are getting killed. It's children. And we need to have an honest conversation about the damage that we do if we vote for somebody whose policies and rhetoric incite violence against what is honestly half of the American population at this point. How much do you need to hang on to your privilege to be willing to vote for violence against people you claim to love? And now we have these armed militias. If you read the report, there are 5 states at significant risk for violence from these militias. And even my state of Virginia is at moderate risk. And we need to stop referring to these militias as militias, because what they are domestic terrorist organizations. And these were built up and incited by this guy who you voted for not once, but twice. Twice you voted for this?
This guy.
And let me say this. Before today,
all right, Jamie. I see you are very upset right now. I can see it in your face.
Before today, I had to tell my sons before they left this house, son, do you have your ID? Is your phone fully charged? Where are you going? Are the parents there? Give me the mom's number and I will text her. What time will you be home tomorrow? Who's going to be around you? Who's going to be in your friends' parents' houses?
Who's in that circle?
Who's in the circle?
And who are their parents?
Are they Trump supporters or not? Oh, they are? You're not going to their house. That's real. That's what Black mothers have to tell their sons every single day. Y'all don't realize that.
Have no clue. I actually had a non-mom of color telling me she has to tell her kids that too. Yeah, but not to the degree that we do.
No, I don't have to. I can tell my kids to expect the police. My sons expect the police will help them. I don't have to tell my sons to be afraid. I don't have to tell them to worry about their every single move. I don't have to tell my sons that they need to be afraid of other people. It's different. And white women need to listen. We are mothers. If you are a mother and you are hearing this, listen to these mothers and imagine if these were your sons. Please. We are a better country than this, or at least we can be. Think about what your American dream is. We all have the same American dream. We want to be able to give our children opportunities and make the world a better place and have it be fair and just.
It needs to be fair and it needs to be just. And we need to learn that while we say a lot of things, people take it to the next level and take it personal. And just like we say, Black Lives Matter, it does not mean that all lives matter. Jamie's life matters just as much as mine. And so does Vanessa's. And so do all of your lives that are watching. Whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, whatever, doesn't make a difference. Everybody lives matter. The problem that I have is that evangelicals don't see that. We all know what the Bible says. We all know what, if you read it, you know. But when you tweak it to the point where you start alienating other people, that's not God. It's not.
And let's not pretend that this is ubiquitous and normal for Christians. It's not. This is not in the Bible. You cannot justify this with anything Jesus said. I'm a member of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. We are an actively anti-racist church. We exist. Mainline Christians who are actively anti-racist exist. And to the white ladies out there, you know there are Black churches, throwing it out there. So we need to be better as a nation and start thinking about the future we want for our children.
I don't want to leave my children in this mess. I just don't want to do it. The reason why I do what I do is because I don't want to leave what he did over the last 4 years for my kids. Giving people, the only positive thing that Trump has done in the last 4 years was he exposed racism. All of you that were running around and acting like you were my friend, or acting like you were Jamie's friend, or acting like you were Vanessa's friend or Kim's friend, all of you going out to dinner with y'all, hanging out with y'all, going to the movies with you, and you voted for Trump, you are not my friend.
No longer.
So you could do whatever you want to do.
Erase my number from your phone.
You could do whatever you want to do. But I no longer want you looking into my life because you don't care about my life. You don't care about me. You don't care about my children. You don't care about my parents. What you cared about was the economy and your 401k. That's what you cared about. So since you cared about that more than you cared about life, more than I have to worry about where my kids are all the time, if they go out in the street, you know, who are they with, where they're driving, don't take that road because it's dark, take that road. And if a police officer comes, then you do the chase with them because you're not going to stop on a dark road with a police officer. And I don't care if your family is FBI. I don't care if your family is Secret Service. I don't care if your family is a police officer. That is not what I'm talking about. I respect all of those positions. But what I am saying is there are dangerous ones out there. There are. And when I have to sit and worry instead of enjoying my life when my kids are out trying to have fun because there are crazy people out there that want to do whatever it is that they want to do. And because you can go into Walmart now and all the guns are gone in the state of Virginia, that they had to repack the shelves and there was a line of people waiting for guns in Walmart. What does that say about this country? What does that say
to shoot your fellow Americans?
Your children are voting Republican. Did you teach your child what that means?
No.
It doesn't make a difference if you're Democrat or Republican. Heck, I'm a Democrat. I've voted Republican before. I've voted across the lines before. Because you know why? I vote for what's right. That's why.
And to your point, Mary, about the guns, are you going to shoot your fellow Americans with that? You going to shoot your neighbor with that?
I thought you were pro-life.
Yeah. And I am all for law-abiding citizens having access to weapons to defend themselves. Nobody here is bashing the Second Amendment. But if you're getting guns because you're planning for violence against your neighbor, what is wrong? Why are you even thinking that way?
What happened to the scripture, love your neighbor as yourself, since you're so religious?
It's very, very ironic how I scheduled a firearms safety course for tomorrow at 4 p.m. in Herndon, Virginia, because we as Black Americans have as much right, even more, to defend ourselves and our homes. I am 54 years old. I have never picked up or touched or fired a gun in my life until about 3 months ago. Now I am licensed in Virginia and about to be licensed in 32 states. I never thought I would say that.
It's a shame that you have to. It's a shame.
I'm a redneck from Pennsylvania. We all went out and fired guns in school and elementary school. And we all already knew how to shoot them.
That's why I love your redneck ass. I love you. You keep it.
But the thing to keep in mind, though, is that, I mean, I'm from a family that serves. My dad served. My grandpa got his leg blown off at the Battle of the Bulge when he was 18 years old. DER on both sides of my family all the way back. We serve. But that's fighting our enemies, not our neighbors. Although I will admit that my great-great-grandpa Perry did fight in the Union, was a Union soldier in the Civil War. So then we had to. But we don't want to do that again. We already had that war. And y'all who are thinking we should do this, your track record isn't so great. You lost the Civil War. You lost World War II. Fascism is just going to get its butt kicked again in a humiliating way. So why are we doing this? Why don't we want to be one nation again? Why don't we want to love our neighbors and embrace the diversity of this nation that makes us great? That's what makes us innovative. That's what makes our you want to talk about the economy? What makes our corporations do so well relative to other countries is because we have diverse and inclusive environments. That's what spurs innovation, and that's what's going to grow the economy. Clinging to the 1950s and going back to old types of power and old types of energy, this is not going to build jobs and grow our economy.
No.
Look forward.
We have to move forward. And we have
so much.
Go ahead, Jay.
We have so much to look forward to. We have such an opportunity now under President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
Where is Kamala? She need to get on the TV. Where is she? Oh my God.
Yeah, so we have an opportunity here. And we also need to step back and think about the context in which this is happening. We have over 50,000 Americans hospitalized right now with COVID. 100,000 new cases a day. 1,000 people a day are going to die. It's 74 days until the inauguration. That means we could easily have 74,000 Americans die, not to even take into account those who are going to be disabled by this. And this president, so we're on the same page, ignored this virus at first and lied to the American people. One of the reasons he did that was because it was predominantly impacting inner cities and people of color. He thought it was killing off the opposition. And now that it's I think the state with the highest percent positive right now is one of the Dakotas.
You know what's so exciting? You know what's so exciting is that the Secret Service is at Biden's house right now, installing him. Excuse me, Mr. President-elect, come this way, please, sir. We have some papers for you to fill out.
Paperwork for you.
We have some papers for you to fill out.
We got some national security briefings. And that's the other thing is when the apprentice leaves our house, he's $400 million in debt, right? And the most valuable things he has are our national secrets.
That's scary.
If you love the safety and security of this nation, we got to get together. We got to unify. We have to get behind President-elect Biden and behind President-elect Harris, Vice President-elect Harris. We all did give Trump a chance.
We did. Him a chance. He blew it.
And now we've got 240,000 dead Americans, 240,000 families who are going to have that empty chair at Thanksgiving.
Yep. Think about that. Think about those empty chairs.
And in the middle of all of this, there's so much violence and brutality in our country that when we're forced into our homes by the pandemic, we're forced back out of our homes to protest violence. And no one here, I hope everybody heard it here, no one here is bashing the police, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Not by any stretch.
It's a really hard job. It's a traumatic job, and we all have tremendous respect for our law enforcement officers. But that one bad apple is ruining the whole bunch. And they're murdering people.
And you know what's really bad a lot of times is that even if you're a good officer, you know about it and you cover for them. Now that's wrong. Yeah. And that I will speak to, because you can't, I know I personally know police officers from New York to Virginia. I know officers. I would never want to defund the police or speak ill or bad of what you guys do, because all officers I know are on the up and up. But what I do have a problem is when you do, and these are even to the ones that I know, and some of y'all are on my Facebook page, when you do see something, you need to say something. You don't cover up for them, and you don't get all in your feelings because people are talking about the police. You need to say, yeah, there are some bad apples in this bunch, but I'm not one of them. And you need to acknowledge there is some bad. The problem that I have with police officers is that they're oblivious. They don't act like there's anything wrong, particularly the chiefs of police. They act like there's nothing wrong, and it is. Anytime you put your knee on the neck of somebody and you're killing them, there's a problem with that. That's just me.
But we have the opportunity now under President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris to do a reset, to rebuild trust with in our communities, with our law enforcement, to support our law enforcement, and allow our law enforcement to make the changes they need culturally, in terms of training, in terms of what funding they do need for all of that, so that we can have a good relationship with the community. Nobody wants to really take away police officers. That's ridiculous. And I think that if you're a Democrat, and I guess I am one now, even though I've always been an independent before, we need to watch the rhetoric that we do that comes across as extreme and unintentional and honestly caustic.
Yeah.
Police officers, it's a blue collar job. The Democrats have a lot to offer the police. Union protections. The Democrats have so much to offer police officers. We should all be on the same team. We're Americans.
We need to be.
We are, as Vice President, well, now President-elect Biden said, we are opponents but not adversaries. And we have two near-peer adversaries. One is China, the other is Russia. It's not other Americans.
You guys should see these people in the street in New York City. Oh my God, they're in Times Square, deep.
What are you watching?
MSNBC.
Those are my people, you know.
MSNBC. They are deep in Times Square. This is amazing.
Oh,
I wish I could see Philly. I bet Philly's got to be off the rails.
You know Philly is off the chain. All my relatives in South Philly. What?
So as much as angry as we all are, I hope we can transition this to civic joy. I really do.
I'm joyful.
I'm so happy I can't even stand. I don't even know what to do.
I got out what I needed to get out because I was waiting for this moment to let it loose. And I'm fine.
I hope people listen. Please listen. Now I'm talking over you in the irony, but I'm asking my white women on the call. I get it. It's hard. This is an uncomfortable place for us to sit in. It is, but we need to sit in this discomfort. That's how we grow. That's how we get better. That's how we make the nations better. And that's how we start to heal this.
All we have to do is talk to each other as women, and those of us that are moms as moms. We are raising children in this country. They can't come after us with the same crap going on, America. We got to change. It's not too late. Look at what we just did. Look at what we just did.
Well, Donald wanted to know.
Few weeks ago, he's telling Black people, vote for me. I'll take care of you. What have you got to lose? We got to lose you, loser. That's why you're out of here.
Do you want to tell him, Vanessa, Donald Trump You're fired.
I've seen it on the screen.
You're fired.
I just saw it for the first time because I told y'all I was driving and then I came straight home to put this live up. And
How
I'm
ironic
just
is that?
seeing it for the first time.
He has written his own books. All these
Well, those are
years.
the first of his own books he's written, because all the rest of the time somebody else writes it and he just puts his name on it. The way
Right.
he does everything else. He cheats.
Just like his buildings. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It makes
But I did
every
ask you,
2
lady.
o'clock in the morning night that I went to bed, and those 2 nights that I stayed up all night. There were 2 nights I stayed up all night. I was working all night. One was the first night I started that group. And then one was another night that I stayed up from the time I woke up the one morning to 5 o'clock the next morning, got dressed and went to work. I got no sleep that night. There were 2 nights like that. And the rest of the nights I stayed up to, no kidding, 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, almost every night. And seeing this screen right here makes it all worth it for me. I'd do it again.
I'm waiting to see Georgia flip though. We got to get our lady Georgia on there.
I'm getting ready to put that on my background on Facebook. Let me go ahead and do that right now. This is you guys. This is
And
incredible.
I want to say we have another intelligent woman as first lady in the White House. Don't forget about Dr. Biden, please. While we're talking about women.
But wait a minute. That's Jamie's homegirl. We ain't forgetting Jilly from the other Jilly from Philly. Okay.
Let's give a shout out to the doctor, okay?
Well, and
Yes.
the other thing I think is so wonderful about this is, you know, we look to these relationships between the president and their spouses as a model. Our children look at this as how you should treat each other. Look at the way Trump treats his wives. Our children
so
saw
happy
that.
to see another thriving marital relationship in the White House and not an arrangement. Just saying.
Yep.
Just saying.
And it's so nice to see love, genuine love in support of each other, of each other's careers.
It's real. Right?
These are things our children can aspire to in their relationships.
I cannot wait until all of these posts I'm posting today pop up next year and we can look at them again. Oh.
So I have a question, ladies.
I'm so happy I
Donald Trump asked you, he did ask you, suburban women, won't you like me?
What did we say to him?
What did we say to him?
Dude's gotta go.
You're fired, you punk. Get out of here.
Do you like me? Do you like me?
Oh my God, where is this?
Women, they love.
Oh my God,
men.
Mary, they are in the street in New York City. They are in the street.
I see my people. I see my people.
Atlanta mayor. We got an Atlanta mayor named Keisha. Okay.
And if you look at the streets of New York, you see white people in the street of New York. You see Black people in the street of New York. You see Latino people in the street in New York.
Latino people.
Everybody. You see the LGBTQ plus community. You see all of that when you look at New York's picture. New York is the picture of what this country is supposed to look like.
And soon the White House is going to look a little bit more like the rest of the country. We still got the old elderly white man in there, but now we have a Black, Asian woman, child of immigrants.
That's incredible. And check this out. I never thought I would say this, but thank you, Lincoln Project.
Yes,
okay.
Huge.
Thank you, Lincoln Project. I followed them.
Thank you, Lincoln Project.
I followed them throughout this whole thing. Thank you, Lincoln Project. Thank you, Stacey Abrams. Stacey, you did it. You did that.
That's a bad girl.
She's a badass. That is like peak badassery right there.
800,000. Bro, Stacey Abrams did that. She said, not on my watch.
And I also think we need to look to the other Republicans who stood up. Cindy McCain.
Yes.
Oh,
you know,
I'm sending Miss Cindy a thank you card.
Yes.
You're not going to talk about my husband like that.
Or about my country like that.
Right. A family full of people that serve. And you're going to talk about our family like that? Miss Cindy did that, y'all. Miss Cindy did Arizona, okay?
Well, and I guess I'm from a family of losers and suckers, so we'll be happy to no longer have him as our commander in chief.
Thank God. Thank God.
They're in the park. They're showing Atlanta on MSNBC right now.
Hold on. Yeah, there's Miss Keisha right there. There it is. Look at that. Thank you, John.
And this gives us an opportunity.
Thank you, John
this is
Lewis.
real.
Oh, and a shout out to, even though I did not go to a HBCU, I want to shout out to HBCUs because Stacey Abrams went to a HBCU. Hello. The mayor,
Keisha went to an HBCU.
She went to an HBCU, and hold up. HU is in the White House, okay? So I want to shout out to all the HBCUs. I'm trying to get my boys to go to one.
Howard University, the Mecca of Black education, is in the White House.
My daughter can get in there.
Do y'all know what this means? What?
They also gave us Black Panther. I'm just saying. At the nerd has to speak up and remind everybody that Howard gave us Chadwick Boseman, which means we gave us Black Panther, and he and Kamala were buddies.
Yeah.
He is smiling down from heaven. My God. Lord.
We got a lot of them smiling down. John Lewis.
Isaiah Cummings.
Yep.
John Lewis. Who else?
I also think we should talk about
Kobe Bryant.
Former members of our military.
With politics and stuff too. He was very vocal in a couple of things.
LeBron James.
Shout out.
We're talking about him and disparaging
to the big boy.
And look what he did. Look what he helped do.
Yep.
Look what he helped do. Cardi B, my girl. Look what she do. They took their platforms and they made this happen.
Yep. Know who you spending your money with. Let me put that there too.
Look at DC. Oh my God, you guys, we got to go down there. Look at this.
I also think that we should talk about the former members of the military who are normally so quiet and reserved and never critical of the president. They just don't. Who came out and broke culture and broke tradition, which is really hard there, to try to save the republic. I mean, Mad Dog Mattis, he did everything he could when he was serving under Trump to try to protect our nation and our troops. And then when he got out of there, he told us the truth and made it very clear that our republic was at stake if we reelected this man. And more than half the troops were showing a disfavorable opinion of Trump at the time of the election, and we can credit a lot of that in those votes to Mad Dog. So thank you, Jim Mattis.
Yes. Shout out to our military. Even in your being disrespected with this president that we currently have, but not for long.
I just got it.
You are not losers and suckers. Because of you, we have the right. We had the right to do what we did today. Because you fight for our freedom. And you fight for our liberties. And you keep us safe. So we just want to give a shout out to those in the military, those who fought in wars, our veterans, everybody.
And he guaranteed.
Getting a little choked up because I'm looking at the streets of DC. Are you seeing this?
I just got a message from my very close friend of mine in Germany, and she says she thinks the whole world is happy. The whole world has been following this election with faith and hope for America.
The whole world is happy.
We have a crew from Germany in the suburban group. And I can't wait to get back in there and find out how they feel because they were Dublin, Ireland, there's a group in there. Germany, we have a group in there. Hawaii, not Hawaii, but we've got people out in that. I mean, it expands that far out from the United States, but out of the country too. I forgot what other country that was. Oh man.
You were correct. It was defined.
Well, they say when America sneezes, the world gets a cold, and we've
Yep.
been sneezing. And our number one export for the last 4 years has been chaos and uncertainty.
Come to one of the debates immediately after. She was sitting there.
Yes. Look at
And
all
now-
the people in DC.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
Look
This
at
is
that.
incredible.
Even in the black community, was standing with Joe Biden.
Oh,
And she ended up
Thank
We
you to
need-
everyone
we
who
need to get
voted.
offline and go somewhere.
voting for Biden.
thank you, everyone that voted Biden Harris.
Yeah, voted Biden Harris.
You
Thank
guys-
you.
You guys are heroes today. You exercise your God-given American right, right to vote. All of my ancestors that died on those fucking plantations so we could have the right to vote. Linda's at my door. She wants to come and hug me. Hold on.
Really,
Yeah.
I think you saved the republic. Voting for Biden Harris
I don't even have,
saved the
I don't
republic.
even have pants on. I don't even, look, we all
Hey,
live.
Linda! We did it!
Have pants on, look.
I don't care! Oh my gosh. I just got to text my daughter. She's like, I'm so happy right now.
Got a session. She's
Well, I
got.
got the big shades on because I've been crying. Happy tears. Really
Oh
happy
my
tears.
God. We can't.
Hey, Linda, we did it!
We did-
Mary, I was in fitness class and I got out and oh my God, we were crying. Those of us
Oh my
that
God.
I can't believe this.
I don't think I have.
New York.
I don't think I have any tear ducts. So I
Those
haven't.
are my peeps right there.
I wish we could go to DC right now.
That's what I said.
I know.
Look at New York.
Look at New York.
No, guess what?
Come in here. Come here.
Guess
Y'all
what?
better be wearing masks. Everybody wear a mask. I will say that. We got to be safe through this.
My niece is in New York City and she sent a video of everybody partying. I'm so jealous.
I know. I wish I was in New
Jealous.
York right now. You know, Barry. You know I love New York City.
Mary,
And I'm-
40 seconds. I'd have been on, no, we say 40 deuce. I'd have been down on 40 deuce already.
That's Jamie.
Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hi. Congratulations.
Crying. Oh,
We
God.
saved the nation.
How are your sons?
They're
Thank
good.
you to
I know. I
every-
found my way home though. I had to pull
in
over
this
to broadcast. I can't wait. I haven't got a chance to tell them yet. They're going to be so excited.
But Mary, how's your sons and daughter?
Good. They're actually chatting now, back and forth with her. So they're good. They're happy. They understand that their vote mattered and it counted.
Oh my God.
You know, my sons and I had a conversation yesterday because it was like, he still didn't win yet. Why won't they give it to him? I said, this is why every vote counts.
Vote.
I don't want to hear anybody ever say
Say
they
that.
don't understand why their vote counts and why do we rely on the electoral college. Your
Yeah.
votes matter because your vote decides what candidate gets that electoral vote. That's why it's important. And if
Well,
in the
remember,
in the beginning when Trump was leading in, was it not Georgia? Georgia. It was Georgia by 1,700 votes. That was 1,700 people that decided they weren't going to vote. I bet you. I bet you there were 1,700 people that decided that they wasn't going to vote, and I bet you most of those votes would have went toward Biden because you have people, and then a third party. The third party got like third. Why a third party? Come on, people.
I know.
You're not gonna win.
Whenever I saw any of that, I was really pissed.
How are you gonna win for the office of president with a third party and you're not even in every state on their ticket?
Yeah, there was where was it? Joe Jorgensen? I don't know where that was.
Jorgensen and
Yeah,
and Kanye
And
West.
Kanye, I will never forget.
Those are
him.
votes we could have had.
We could have had those.
But that's okay.
That's
How
okay.
do you
Was it-
stay home?
Joey
Then do
Kamala.
something idiotic like that. What? What'd she say?
What are we to do? I want to party. I really do.
Okay, whenever this live is over, I'm going to get off because my phone has been blowing up.
Yeah, I should get off too. I got to get home and see my
I gotta
kiddos.
go.
And then
Look at your
we're going to, it's been blowing up all, oh my God. I'm going to get off. I love you, America. You guys did it. We did that thing. Philly, Pennsylvania, Arizona, all of y'all. What? We're going to be celebrating. We're going to be there at that White House. I don't know when, but we're going to be down there.
Yeah.
Kamala, you come on TV. I know the Secret Service got you right now, Kamala. I know they do, but we want to see you.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
They
Vice
better protect my
President-elect.
girl. I'm telling you now.
What?
They better protect my girl.
Oh, they better.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to worry. Between the AKAs and everybody else,
Yeah.
we got her.
Yeah.
Okay? We got her.
Hey, can I be honorary AKA?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
Working on that.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right. See y'all later.
God bless America.